What's up, guys? Alex Smith and Josh Bevel back with another chaos theory for water hose drinkers. And this is an interesting one here for MLB, little MLB action. Josh, you want to tell us what this is all about?
So if you see me looking up, I'm just watching the Georgia Southern game. They're playing Georgia State right now. So
Which I will also be peeking up and watching the Georgia Southern game.
yeah, so if everybody is thinking that we don't give a shit, it's because we're watching the Eagles play. So it's all right
It's all right. I think we got an excuse.
for sure. And so we got an MLB Chaos Series today, and so basically a how a fishing trip did not allow the NL to get a designated hitter in 1980. And first thing I'd like to say about it is if the NL would have gotten a designated hitter in 1980, how different baseball would have been. You wouldn't have gotten Bartolo Colon home runs, Madison Bumgarner, guys like that, and pitchers just hitting bombs every now and then for no reason. They just connect. And, we wouldn't have had that. And that was always great as like a kid, like just seeing like a pitcher rate. You know what I mean?
Dude, I love seeing pitcher home runs. That was so much fun to see. Now, obviously, the DH has become permanent in the AL and the NL and since the 2020 COVID season. But so, can you tell me why this fishing trip caused such chaos?
Before we get into it, I do have a question for you. Who was the last NL pitcher to win Silver Slugger?
Max Fried, right?
Good one. Bingo. Bingo.
Hey,
Bingo.
there are reports that Max Fried could have been a two-way player if he wanted to.
That's what I'm saying. Like if he was still like having a hit, like I think he could be pretty decent at it. Honestly, he's a good base runner too. He's a quick guy. So anyway, so how a poorly timed vacation just completely ruined all of this happening. So the adoption of the DH in the AL happened in 1973, and it increased, ticket sales, runs, money, everything, and they were loving it. So in 1980, the NL had a yes or no vote to basically decide if they want to have the DH or not. So the Pirates GM, he basically said, I don't care. I want to vote how Philadelphia votes. Whatever the Phillies do, that's what I want to do. I'm not even showing up. Have a good day. Bye. So the Phillies GM, poor old buddy, he really screwed this one up. So he decided to go fishing, and he sent his assistant GM or like his assistant and basically his right hand man, like his go to guy, you know? And so at the meeting, they were informed that what a terrible kick.
That was a bad
Um,
punt.
in the meeting, they were informed that the DH, if they vote yes, so it's 1980, they were informed if the DH would come into effect in 1982. They didn't know that until the meeting. So the Phillies GM, assistant GM, we'll call him. So Phillies assistant GM, he hesitated and he didn't know what to do. So it was either a yes or no vote. And so the final tally of the votes was 4-3. So think about it. The Pirates GM said whatever Philly wanted to do is what I want. And so the Philly GM, he goes fishing, sends his right hand man. That's two votes right there. If he just votes yes, that swings the other way, and we have a DH in the NL in 1982. And we didn't get one. Because of that, we didn't get a DH until 2020, or did it come in effect in 21 or 20?
20.
20. There you go.
So the final tally was 5 against, 4 in favor, and there were three absentees in 4-3.
Yeah.
There were 3 absentees, including the Phillies and the Pirates. So the Pirates GM, kind of does his job and doesn't go on a fishing trip and just blindly put his faith in the Phillies assistant GM, then likely would have been a DH in the NL this whole time. We never would have had pitchers hitting.
No kidding. I mean, like we said earlier, I mean, pitchers raking is awesome. Like, who doesn't love? I just remember when we were kids, Tim Hudson was a pretty good hitter too. Um, what's his name? Adam Wainwright was never a bad hitter. Madison Bumgarner, Zach Greinke. I mean, all these guys were pretty good hitting pitchers, honestly. Jacob DeGrom. Jacob DeGrom was a good hitter. I mean, he was a two-way player in college at Stetson. And Bartolo Colon, I mean, you'll never forget him hitting a bomb. I mean, they played that a million times on Sports Center.
Yes, they've played that a million times. And also think about the strategy throughout the years in terms of pinch hitting pitchers late in the game. Your 7, 8, 9 comes up against an NL team in 2015. You almost got an easy out as the ninth, dude. You got to factor that into your game plan, and that never would have happened.
Small ball bunting with the pitchers too. Like,
Yeah, squeeze bunts, man, like that. None of that would have ever existed if old buddy just went fishing the next day.
oh no, no kidding. And I mean, you're 100% right. We would have never gotten all that. And one thing I wanted to mention too was even if you got it, let's say you got a like how it was, you got your pitcher in your non-hole, he's got a bat, right? No DH. What if you got a good hitting pitcher, sometimes putting him in the 8 spot? Because if you got a guy that normally bats 8, he's not really your best hitter, so you drop him in the 9 because he's fast. See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
dude. I mean, it completely changes your strategy as a manager, which now it doesn't really have an effect because the DH is
I'm
now.
in favor for the DH though. I will say that.
I am in favor for the DH. I think it makes for a more interesting product. Obviously, you have those rare instances of just top tier pitcher home runs, but like I said, those were rare. And so I'm a fan of the DH, but it is crazy to think that how these little actions have affected the trajectory of baseball for decades to come.
No kidding. One thing I do want to say is to, Max Fried. I just remember a couple of years ago he got hurt running the bases. That kind of it is a good thing in that way. Now that they have the DH to eliminate some injuries on pitchers running around the base path. Because I mean, if they slide, tweak a little thing, I mean that throws off their whole game. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know how mental baseball is.
Baseball is very mental, and just a little tweak of a hamstring, a pulled calf, like that's going to completely mess up your pitching.
Fingernail, a
Yeah,
blister, like I mean, and it's so easy. Let's say they slide head first, right? So easy to break a finger or do something. What if they get stepped on accidentally or something like that? It's a good call right there, pass interference. But yeah, man, I mean, to wrap it up, Pirates GM said whatever Philly is going to do, I'll do. And Philly's GM decided to go fishing and he sent his right hand man. There you go. And he messed up big time.
crazy.
You got anything else to say?
Nah, dude, that was all I had to add there. Just a wild thought. I love doing these though.
I know for real. I think next week we're gonna I think we got a couple more MLB ones that we're gonna do. I don't know. We gotta get in the lab and think of something this weekend.
We'll certainly get in the lab. There's a ton of avenues to go down with this in the sports world. But if that's all you have for now, then this is another Chaos Theory by the Water Hose Drinkers. Like, subscribe, find us on YouTube and Spotify and on Twitter. Don't forget the Twitter. And if you have any great ideas for chaos theories, please do drop them in the comments. We'd love some suggestions.
Please, and it doesn't have to be. If you got a good football one, that's great. We'll do it. But like you said, please drop something in the comments. Like if it's like a soccer, like I love soccer. Alec likes soccer. I
I
don't
do.
know what sport it is. Like if you give me something crazy in sports, it doesn't matter what the sport is. But that's all I got to say. And hail Southern, go Dogs. It's Ralph Week, touchdown Eagles.
Hail Southern, baby. All right. Well, we will
We'll
see
end
you
on
guys.
that note. Let's go Eagles. I'm predicting it right here, right now. Georgia Southern wins and they cover, hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
All right. See you, Al.
See ya.